everyone and welcome to ITLS Academy Empower the Youth. So today in this lecture we will going to understand what is safety, health and environment in any pharmaceutical industry, or you can simply say that how safety and health and environment have an impact on any pharmaceutical industries and how they are related to any pharmaceutical industry. So in this particular lecture we will going to firstly cover the introduction part, then we will see the types of hazards that is there in any industry, safety aspect with in the pharmaceutical industry, and at last we will complete the conclusion part. So let us understand the introduction part. So health in environment, health and safety in any of the industries, whether it's a food industry, whether it's a pharma industry, or whether it's any beverage industry, it becomes a very important part of any industry, or you can say it is the basic important for any manufacturing industry or a industry to have a look on the safety, health and environment. So it becomes a very vital part of any industries, or you can say it has become a industrial norm. Okay, for manufacturing industry to adhere to the law and guidelines pertaining to ESHS laid down by the relevant regulatory bodies. So in the starting of this course we have discussed about what is regulatory aspect. You can go to that lecture for the better understanding what is regulatory aspect, how regulatory bodies help in determining any hazards in any particular drug. So as I'm saying that environment, health and safety, it becomes a very important, or you can say integral part of any industry. Okay, so this industry is known as the manufacturing industries, means a pharmaceutical industries. Why manufacturing? Because they are manufacturing a different types of a drug. So the industry, they are attached to the law and guidelines that is given by any regulatory bodies. Okay, so more than anything else, this environment, health and safety is a critical to ensure safety and comply with GMPs, that is good manufacturing practices. So there is one of the lecture that is based on GMPs, so you can also go to that lecture for the better understanding what is GMP and how GMP helps in checking the quality of any pharmaceutical drug. So along with the safer and healthier employees, a strong environment, health and safety management system can work wonders in increasing the productivity of an organization as well. So it is very important for any industries to check the safety, to check the health and environment, so that if they want to increase their productivity. Okay, so productivity will only be increased when the environmental condition is good, when the health condition is good, when there is a proper safety for the employees. Okay, so it is very important for any pharmaceutical industries to pay attention on the quality and safety of the of the you can say drug product, or the workers that they means the workers they are working in that particular industries. Okay, so in any pharmaceutical industries, we all are aware that there are various types of chemicals that are used, or there are chemicals that are handled by the several types of employees. So it is very important for a pharmaceutical industry to pay attention on the safety of their employee. Okay, so there are different types of chemicals, there are different types of equipment. Some equipments are small, some equipments are big, some equipment work on automation type, some required a current, some required in means there are complex type of equipments that is there. Okay, different types of machineries are there. Okay, the high tech machineries are there, the complicated machineries are there, and different types of processes are there that uses electricity and the mechanical devices. So it is very much important for any manufacturing unit to see the safety of their employee as well as the safety of the environment. Okay, so various types of microorganisms are also being handled both in the laboratories and in production processes. Okay, there are different types of medicines that are manufactured through different types of microorganism. Microorganism play a very important role as a raw material, you can say also. Okay, yeah, I'm just talking about the beneficial microorganisms. Okay, and here comes the microorganism that are harmful. So these microorganisms are there in any of the product when the product is not stored properly. Okay, so there are different types of microorganisms that are associated with different types of product. Okay, so it is very much important to handle those microorganisms to increase the shelf life of the product. Okay, to manage those type of microorganism. So again, whether it's a electricity, whether it's a mechanical device, or whether it's a microorganism, so it is very important for the industry to see all these aspects. Which type of aspect, students? The first aspect is the equipment, the second type of aspect is machinery, the third type of aspect is microorganism. So all these aspects should be monitored very closely for the safety of the different types of work. See, there are different types of workers they are working, so it is very important to check all these things. Okay, so it is required to study the whole setup, machinery, process, raw materials, chemical, microorganism, etc. thoroughly. It is the also required to identify all the possible hazards and then take a preventive and corrective measure to prevent the accidents. So it is very important for any pharmaceutical sector to see all the possible hazard that is associated with the chemicals that are being used, the different types of microorganisms, the different types of mechanical devices. So it is very important to check all these possible hazard, and what should be the preventive and the corrective measure should be taken to prevent the accident. It is very important. So whenever अगर कोई भी in a particular industry, if there is a manufacturing of a particular drug, so it is very important for our particular industries to check the preventive measure, to take the preventive and the corrective measure to prevent the incident. Okay, not incident, accidents. Okay, sorry. So see, whenever there is a manufacturing of any drug, let's say paracetamol. Okay, so it is very important to see what are the raw materials to be used in the manufacturing of paracetamol. Secondly, what are the machineries that is there in the manufacturing of a pharmaceutical, this paracetamol? What are the equipments required? What are the procedure that is required? What are the which type of workers to be required? What should be the temperature? What should be means how to store after the manufacturing or after the production of pharmaceutical product, that is this paracetamol, where to store this paracetamol. So all these things should be managed before. Okay, first thing. Second thing, all the possible hazard that could be associated with the raw materials, the chemicals to be used, should be checked properly, should be prevent properly, and the corrective measure should be there so as to avoid the accident that could be fall. Okay, so what are the various regulation that deals with the environment, health, and safety system? So there are different types of regulations that I have just talked about, the regulatory aspects. So there are different types of regulation. The first one is the International Organization Standards. You must be heard of ISO. So ISO 14001 and 2015 is one of the regulation that is that deals with the environment, that deals with the health and safety. The second one is the Occupational Health Safety Assessment Series, or you can say the British Standard. Okay, so this is again the second regulation that is there that deals with the EHS. Then comes the another types of regulation, let's say the local state and in the national authorities. Then CGMPs. What is CGMPs? The current GMPs, that is the current good manufacturing practices that should be incorporated in any of the industries. Means what are the latest technologies, the latest technologies, machinery systems should be used. Then against the current GLPs, that is good laboratory practices should be used. Then ESH, quality policy of the company. So all these regulation and should is there that deals with the EHS system. Okay, so these types of regulation could be asked in the interviews, could be asked in the one word, and could be asked in the MCQ. So this thing is very important what I am marking here. The full forms of the ISO, the full form of the occupational health safety assessment series, British standard. And what is CGMPs, what is CGLPs, what is EHS, and quality policy of the company. So all these things could be asked in the interviews, could be asked in the examination. So you must be aware of the regulatory bodies that deals with the EHS. So sometimes in interviews they can ask you, can name any or one of the regulation that deals with the EHS. So you can say yes, there is a ISO. Second, you can say about CGMPs. Okay, so you can go through this slide. Then comes the safety. So now we will understand what is actually safety means in any pharmaceutical industries. So safety at workplace is broadly achieved through hazard studies and risk assessment. See, safety is very important whenever a worker or person is working in any of the industry. So safety comes the topmost, because if the worker is secure, if the worker is safe, then you can do a lot of production with the help of this manpower. But if the worker is not safe, if the safety is very minimum, so how you can achieve the high production unit. So it is very important for any of the industries, that is safety of the worker. Then how to achieve this type of safety? So in at a workplace you can achieve by studying the hazard studies and risk assessment. Second, to permit to work system. Then fire safety management system, electrical safety management system, provision of educate double PE. Okay, comprehensive study safety training of the employee. So all these we will going to cover one by one. Again, one question generally arises, that how the safety take place. So safety at various stages should be there. Means at various stages in the production of any particular medicine or a drug, at a particular steps or various steps, safety should be concerned. Okay, so the first safety is the planning stage, the second is the design stage, then is your construction, then is a pre-commissioning or commissioning, then operation stage, decommissioning, and abandonment is there. So safety at the various stage means planning stage. So whenever you are planning of manufacturing any drug, so as far as the production is concerned, you should also plan how, if बाई चांस अगर कोई ड्रग मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो रहा है, उसी के टाइम कोई हज़ार्ड आ जाए, तो उस हज़ार्ड को कैसे मैनेज करना है. तो यू शुड ऑल्सो डू द प्लानिंग ऑफ हाउ टू डील विद दैट पर्टिकुलर हज़ार्ड इन द स्टार्टिंग at the planning stage. Okay, so that here also safety play a very important role, because you are thinking of the safety of a particular employee to deal with a particular hazards. Then design stage. So whenever there is a design stage, again safety is very much important. Then whenever there is a construction, here a construction simply means the manufacturing. Okay, so again, safety is very important. Operation stage, where the different types of machinery, different types of technology is used. So again, at the operation stage also, safety is very important. So again, why do we need safety? This question arises in interviews, in examination. Sometimes in examination, this question play a very important marks, you can say. Why do we need safety? Okay, well, I remember in my interview this question came: why do we need safety in any pharmaceutical industries, or why do we need safety in any of the industry? So don't wait for the major accident to identify need to improve major hazard management. Okay, need to learn lesson from accident that have been there performed, मतलब कि कोई एक्सीडेंट अगर पहले ही हो चुका है तो उससे लर्न करना है. ओके, डोंट वेट फॉर द एक्सीडेंट टू occur. Okay, so that is the reason when I'm saying that safety should be there at the planning stage. So whenever you are planning to manufacturing any good drug, so it is very important to plan how to deal with a particular hazard. Manage the risk via foresight rather than in hindsight, to be proactive rather than reactive. So it is very important to to have a understanding, to have the knowledge how to deal with the particular hazard. Okay, now comes the basic safety rules. So what are the basic safety rules that should be taken by the employer? So this is again is very important. Okay, so all employees are expected to wear a clean uniform and caps while on duty. So have you ever went to any of the industrial visit? So you must be seeing that there are different types of sorry, there are number of employees that are working in that particular industries. So the employees are set, or the worker are expected, means they are set to wear a clean uniform. Apart from the uniform, they are asked to wear the caps, that is known as the headscarf. Okay, while on duty. So whenever a particular employee enter the premises of the industry, so it become mandatory for that particular employee to wear a clean uniform with a good hair scarf, with the gloves. Okay, so within the premises, within the industrial premises, within the boundaries of the plant of or the industry, smoking is not allowed. There is a logo, or you can say there is a poster that is there, and not logo, sorry, there is a poster in which it is written that smoking is not allowed in the plant. So if you want to smoke, you can go outside the premises of the particular industry where you can smoke, but inside the industry there is no chance of smoking. Then safety helmet, goggles and hand gloves are issued to all the staff. These must be worn all the time. So it is not said that whenever you are at the line is there, where the production line, you can say, where actually the product is manufacturing. So no, not in that case. आप इंडस्ट्री में एंटर हुए, इंडस्ट्री के प्रेमिसेस में एंटर हुए, इट इज़ मैंडेटरी फॉर यू टू वेयर द कंप्लीट यूनिफॉर्म. अ कंप्लीट यूनिफॉर्म includes the headscarf, includes a gloves, includes a shoe cover. So all these, even the goggles are there. Okay, so while working in the industry, so it is very much important. These are certain types of the rules that is also there at the wall of the industrial premises. Whenever you are entering, whenever you go to any industrial visit, you must see these basic safety rules that is there. Okay, now comes the for handling the hazardous chemical, you must use acid proofs apron and face shield. So whenever a worker see, as I have already told you that in any pharmaceutical industries there are different types of chemicals or hazardous chemicals that are used. So it is very much important and for a worker to wear a acid proof apron. So there are different types of aprons that are there in the markets. One of the apron is the acid proof apron. So while a worker is dealing or handling the any hazardous chemical, so it is very mandatory for that particular employee to wear a acid proof aprons and the face shield, so that there is if by chances there is a mishandling of the hazardous chemical, so that chemical could not attack you. Why? Because you are already wearing the gloves, you are already wearing the acid proof aprons, you are already wearing the face shield. So it is very much important and to wear the acid proof aprons and the face shield. So all material that is used in the factory or the industries are very expensive and very hazardous also, since the chemicals are expensive as well as it is very hazardous. So make sure there should be no leakage of that particular chemical that is used, where there should be no type of wastage again. The wastage of, if any chemical is being wastage, or if the chemical is spoiled, अगर कहीं भी वो स्पेलेज है, ठीक है, कहीं से ब्रेक हो रहा है, कहीं से बाहर निकल रहा है, तो ऑलरेडी दो चीज़ें इफेक्ट हो रही हैं. फर्स्ट द cost. Why? Because that is very expensive, and second the safety. So, okay, so you should be aware, means the worker should be aware of the MSDS of each chemical. Now generally one question arises that what is MSDS? Okay, why the worker need to know about the MSDS? Okay, so see, I am just writing it here, you can note it down somewhere for better understanding, or you can take the screenshot. So what do you understand by MSDS? So see, MSDS is the material safety data sheet. Okay, so what is MSDS? So MSDS is the material safety data sheet. So it is a type of a data sheet, or which provide a basic information on a material or a chemical product. So what is MSDS? So MSDS, it is the type of a sheet that have information, important information about a material or the chemical product a worker is handling. So it is very much important for a worker to have a complete knowledge of which kind of hazardous chemical he is using. So it is very much important. So in examination also they can ask you what is MSDS, or in interviews they can ask you what is MSDS. So you must be knowing that it is a material safety data sheet. And what is the use? You should be aware of the uses as well. Okay, now comes the general safety system. So general safety system, under the general safety system there is a safety committee should be there. Okay, the committee that set different types of rules for the workers while working in any of the industries. Then there should be a 24/7 safety surveillance, means you can say that a camera should be there, a safety surveillance is there, machine guarding is should be there. Okay, breathing air network, airline respirator should be there in any of the pharmaceutical industries. Then color coding of pipes, labeling should be very important. If a chemical, okay, let's say this is a chemical and this chemical is very hazardous, so it is very much important for a company, for a industries to label this particular chemical, that yes, this chemical is hazardous, so the worker should use this chemical with a safety. Okay, then pressure vessel testing every before manufacturing or start the manufacturing of any drug. It is very much important to have a proper pressure vessel testing. Okay, then lifting tackles, hoist, safety valve. Okay, all these testing should be there. Public address zone identification system. Okay, if by chance if any harm have occur, or so there should always be a on-site emergency plan that is the online. Then there should be a regular training, means whenever there is any hazardous chemical that is newly introduced in any of the industry, so it is very much important for the industrial person to give a regular training of that particular hazardous chemical to the employee, so that employee should be aware of the hazardous result of that particular chemicals. Okay, so it is very much important for the industry to give a particular training to an workers. Now comes the first information report, that is FIR. What is FIR? The first information report means when to seek for the you can say complaint. Okay, so there is a RCA, that is a root cause analysis. There is a investigation team, a nomination. They actually see how this hazard has happened. Then there should be an actual investigation, and recommendation should be there. Then there should be CAPA, that is a corrective action and preventive actions. Then they should have action responsibilities and the time frames. Then they must have the implementation. Then they have a closure. So these came under the FIR, that is when to seek for the help, or when to go for the help. So this is the thing. So this is not there in your course, but just for a better understanding I have just mentioned this slide. Okay, so these are the first part of the safety, health and environment. So in the next lecture we will going to understand what are the different types of the equipments, different types of safety measures, and different types of uniforms that are there in the particular industries, and what are the basic principle behind the safety, health and environment. So we will going to understand that in our next lecture. By the time, if you have any queries, any things related to this particular lecture, so you can simply leave your queries in the comment section below. So in the next lecture I'll be answering the queries. By the time, you can follow ITLS Academy on different portal, that is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. You can visit our website for if you want to enroll in any of the courses, that is www.itlsacademy.com. This is our helpline number, as well as this is our WhatsApp number. So you can simply call on this number, that is 7080833450. So you can simply call on this number and get updated if you have any queries. So you can just leave the message as well. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share and subscribe. And yes, student, don't forget to press the bell icon to get more lectures on different types of lecture courses. And we will going to meet in our next lecture, that is the part 2 of this lecture. So thank you again. Thank you.